I'm James Williams G. This is my final video before I go to work. We are also addressing more martial arts stuff because if you've been watching my YouTube channel and I have started putting up more martial arts stuff and less chit chat, I want to explain quite a few things. In the other video, I touched on how the people who have made it as pure skill and luck and chance, and I've never gotten any of that. I have the skill, I just don't have the luck. I addressed the phony martial artists and the people who are coming after Frank Dukes and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure they'll probably come after me eventually. And I don't have a problem with that because, I gave my address in the other video. If one of you dummies want to try something stupid, make sure you go get that shit sanctioned and signed by a lawyer or something, because I'm not going to lay there and let you beat my ass. And you may not have to. You might actually be able to beat me, but, you're going to remember that I was there. Now, here's the thing on martial arts. As a martial artist, we're not supposed to go around threatening people. We're not supposed to go around bashing people's heads in, because might doesn't always make right. And it's also the wrong thing to do. And in most cases, in the 50 states of America, it's probably illegal. Now, we as men, all men, no exception, straight, gay, short, tall, all men have a macho complex. Alright? Let's make that 100% clear. We all have a macho complex. It's the senseis and sifus that guide us away from the macho complex. Just because you can beat someone doesn't mean that you should. Just because you think you have great skills doesn't mean you should try them on everyone, because you never know whose skills are better until you're actually in the heat of the moment. When I tell people about martial arts, when I tell people about fighting, I tell them the truth. And the truth of the matter is, unless you're both really, really good, most fights don't last like the movies. Most fights don't go a full 10 minutes. Most fights go 3 to 5. Without exception. Because sometimes you get lucky with that one hit, you knock people out, and everybody start calling you One Punch Man. And sometimes you don't get lucky, and you hit somebody, and it's like hitting a fucking brick wall. And again, the fight can go anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. Most fights don't really go 10 minutes. Now, if you're making a movie, the fight needs to go 5, 10, 15 minutes to fill in the film. And the reason that is because it's entertainment. Where in real life, I've never been in a fight that's lasted more than 5 minutes. Ever. But also, those fights are sanctioned. When you're in a ring, you get 3 5-minute rounds. Where you get 5 3-minute rounds, or however that works. Since I've never fought professionally in an arena in a controlled environment, I give you 3 to 5 minutes on the streets. Most fights in the streets last 3 to 5 minutes, unless it becomes who's going to establish dominance, and you're all doing like wrestling instead of actually stand-up hand-to-hand combat, kicks and punches. If you're doing grapples and Brazilian jiu-jitsu and shit like that, fight's probably going to go for a long time, unless somebody taps or gets knocked out, and that's how real fights work. I explain this to people for a reason, because here it is. In most real fights, you're both adrenaline rushed. You both have a little bit of fear and a little bit of intimidation. Fear of what you're going to do to that guy, or fear of what that guy's going to do to you. It pumps you up. And adrenaline is basically hyper endorphins, fueling strength, fueling power, and now everything is up to you. How focused are you during this fight? If you're focused enough that you know what you have to do, and you do that, and you win the fight within the 2 to 3 to 5 minute span, that's great. But if you're not, and the other guy's more focused, you're probably going to lose. I've lost a few sparring matches. I'll be the first to tell you. I've lost maybe 4 or 5 sparring matches. Compared to the 7 that I've won, once I got pissed off, things change in battle. Remember that. The tide of battle is not the same as it is in wrestling. Wrestling, the moves are real. Everything else is questionable. But you know the drill. You practice the routine over and over and over. And how you train in the dojo is how you're more than likely going to fight. And a lot of people in the dojo will tell you, because you're training, you're just tapping. You have to remember that when you're in the streets, there's no more rules in the dojo. The rules in the dojo do not apply. Now, I'm just pissing off every martial artist with that. But I'm telling you the truth because I'm going to train you like you're in the dojo. But I'm going to tell you the truth. When you get out here in the real world, you need to cut off that I don't want to hurt you mentality. What you should cut on is, I want to survive, and I'm going to do what I need to do that. A lot of senseis just got pissed off at me with that phrase right there. You train hard so that you will fight a real fight. When you're in the dojo, you have your rules, you have your limits, you have your sanctions, and those are very important because in the dojo you're there to train, not to hurt people. And you go to one of those dojos in Asia, you're going to get a whole culture shock on what the hell is going to happen. And the reason I know this is because I've trained with people who've gone to those dojos in Asia. Some of them were in my very first movie, and they're Chinese, and there was some that were not, but they have trained in those families, and they come from those family of martial artists and dojos, and they know what they're doing. So when I tell you something, it's up to you to believe it or not. I don't gain anything by lying to you because I surely only have 54 followers. I don't have 1,000 followers. That would be great, but I'm happy with the ones that I have. I'm grateful to the ones that I have because at least I know someone's giving me mercy. And I don't just have to go to church for it. When you are in a dojo, you get your chambers back. You get your blocks down. When you are in the streets, this is your movements. A lot different from I don't even use those anymore when I train. Now you see why it was confusing. You are meant to forget what you've learned so that you can flow fluidly in combat. That is a quote from Bruce Lee. So let me talk to you about second nature now. If you trained in the martial arts as long as I have, it becomes second nature. And what second nature means is you go out of the box a bit. So when I tell people if I'm going to fight, I'm usually going to jab, jab, and I'm going to throw a kick, a knee, or an elbow because it feels natural for me to do that. Where if you're just a boxer, it's always going to be jab, jab, either a cross or another jab, 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 boom, boom. You're going to go boxing, boom, boom, switch southpaw, boom, boom. Training is the same thing. When you're at boxing ring, you have rules, and you know how to handle yourself. You're fighting a southpaw fighter, he's always going to go right, right, left, because that's his power. Or it's right, right, and a left. But he's going to hit you with that left. And southpaw fighters are wicked. So you have to learn how to adapt. Switch up. He's going southpaw, you go southpaw. Don't try to go like this while he's like this. Switch up. So if he's like this and you're like this, you're both going to throw lefts first. Unless he's a sucker southpaw, which he's like this, but he goes and throws right first. Because southpaws generally always throw the right first. Now, if you watch guys like Billy Blanks, he homes in using his left leg the most. When I used to be able to use my left leg, I trained the same way because some of my kicks just look right damn devastating from the left. And some of them look okay from the right. But that very same kick that I tried that looks cool from the left doesn't look cool from the right. And I'm not left-legged. And now I'm definitely not left-legged. So there's no more tornado kicks in my arsenal. The doctors specifically said that is out. A lot of my wushu has been excommunicated out of my system. So now I have to develop a new system that does not involve tornado kicks. Because I used to love tornado kicks. They're like my favorite kicks of all time. Bruce Lee had the flying dragon. I had the tornado kick. I had the reverse tornado kick. Now I can't do any of those because the doctor said so. So I have to train light. So I have to go all the way back to basics. I have to stay in basics. So when you see me making videos now, they're not going to be as fancy as I had planned out my movie career to have lots of fancy kicks. There's a martial artist, I'm going to say his name wrong. You guys probably don't know who he is, but I haven't forgotten him. He played in Acapulco Heat. His name was either Michael Worth or Michael Worthington. Badass dude. He has not been able to reach his pinnacle of superstardom like he should be. The same thing like with Gary Daniels. You know, Ray Park's up there. Gary Daniels and Michael Worth, they're there, but they're not at the level that Jeff Speakman, Van Damme, and Seagal had hit, because they all came out around at about the same time. And Gary Daniels and Ray Park would probably make an excellent movie for Double Dragon. Plus they kind of look alike. And that's not just a white factor. Or maybe I need glasses. But anyway, they're some of the baddest martial artists on the planet. You know? And then there's everyone who's ever crossed the path of the WMAC. All of those guys and girls are fucking awesome. You know, and I wanted to be in that, but like I said, opportunities rarely come to people when they want them. They rarely come to them when they need them, and I have never been given the golden opportunity to shine. And now with my hip being replaced, it's like destiny has been fighting me since the day I was born. But as a martial artist, I will tell you the things that you aren't told by certain senseis. You know, I will never tell you that you are a horrible fighter, even if you are a horrible fighter, because there's always room for improvement. Now that I will tell you, because for me, there's always room for improvement. Even with this bum leg, I can still get a good left kick in. I just can't do anything fancy, so I have to adapt. However, until this right leg goes, I can still get a good right leg in. Until I have to not. So I tell people, you know, you see me moves, you see that they're all the same. It's because I've mastered my body, and now that I no longer have the ability to use my left leg, I have to adapt and remaster a new system that works for both legs. As a martial artist, I'm more of a kicker. I'm more of a high kicker. I'm a short man. I'm only 5'3.5", but I got really good kicks. You know, I've always had great kicks. It has been the blessing and the curse at the same time. It's a curse now because now I can't use my legs like I used to. That being said, you know, as a martial artist, we have to adapt to everything. You know why I've beaten black belts and I don't have a black belt? Because I am willing to go beyond the dojo tradition and the styles that are not needed. A black belt really is only to hold up your pants. But the truth be told, it doesn't hurt to have a belt in society so that people know that you have some kind of standing. Okay? But I have beaten black belts. And I've never had to break a board or a block of wood or a brick or anything to prove that I'm good. That is just some BS rules for sanctions. Or a way of keeping you from achieving your goal or slowing you down. I honestly don't believe that you should ever have to break a brick or break a board to get a belt. I think that honestly, let's keep it real. I'm going to keep it 99.9. I think honestly that you should fight for your belt. There's a reason why we don't do that here in America, but I honestly think that you should fight for your belt. And not like in a choreographed fight scene, you know, put the gear on. Last man standing gets the black belt. That's just the way I see it. It's not done that way, sadly. If I ever open up a dojo, I think I would do it that way for every belt testing. And the reason why is because I don't want to teach you something that you can't use. No, I will not teach you lethal combatives to get a black belt. But when you get that black belt, you're going to earn it, and you may have to do some lethal combatants. Personally, we will have training gear on. If I had my own dojo, that's how it would run. It's like, you're going to have training gear. Cup, in the vest and the helmet and the gloves and the feet gear. No, just enough so that you don't hurt anybody, but enough for them to know that they've been hit. And people don't agree with that. I got kicked out of 3 dojos in my youth. Not the dojo that I was paying to go to, but I went to these 3 dojos out of the hopes that they would let me fight for my belt. And that was not going to happen. I was in the inner stairway and I ran out of money and I lost money, so I started checking around. First dojo to kick me out before I could even get their attention was a good dojo. It was the 7 Tigers, and they said we don't fight for our belts here. And I said, yeah, but see, how am I gonna know I'm good if I don't fight for my belt? It's like, because we don't fight for our belts in any dojos in Virginia. I didn't believe him until I went to Richmond and tried to get a black belt from Dong's Karate on, I believe it's Jeff Davis. It might be 250. I don't know. But it's in Richmond. And he told me the same thing. And he was a Korean guy. And he's like, yo, we don't fight for our belts here. And it's like, but this is a dojo ran by an Asian dude. You would think that they would fight for their belts. Which goes to us Americans are a little bit soft. And then back here in Charlottesville, the International Black Belt Center, they wouldn't let me fight for my belt. Plus, I wanted to make movies, and I tried to get some of the participants there, and the head sensei threw me out. He didn't literally throw me out, but he escorted me to the door. And I sit there and I said, is this why I can beat black belts? Because no one's fighting for their belts. You break a board, you put together a fight choreographing, and that's all fine and dandy and all because you're all doing it out of sport. But does that mean that black belt on you is worthy of you? Or are you worthy of it, should I say? I honestly think that my system would probably work better if I had a dojo, if I had a championship, if I had a black belt, where people would actually give it in. But clearly, you know, we in America, we have, I guess, certain standards that we're not really to bend on. On the other hand, I would straight up tell them, look, you're going to fight for your belt. And I say, it's just that simple. If you haven't been practicing everything I teach you and you lose, it's your fault. I'm not going to put you against somebody who's not above your level, but on your level. If both of y'all do what I say, you both get belts. It's just that simple. Because the fact that you're willing to fight is enough for me to actually give you a belt. But if you're willing to fight, but you can't do what I taught you when you need it, then I have wasted your time and mine. I'm not about wasting your time. I'm going to teach you to elbow someone. That's what you're going to do. I'm going to teach you to knee someone. That's what you're going to do. If I have to put you in a ring with a scenario like the WMAC Masters and have you fight 2 or 3 opponents, that's what I'm going to do. Because if you got to pay somebody to teach you how to fight, you damn sure better come out of that dojo knowing how to fight a little bit. If not a whole lot, a little bit. And a lot of dojos are all about dough. So, I'm going to exit this out now because I have to go to work. I'm James Williams Jr. We have Addressed Martial Arts. This is Coming Graphic number 2. If I've pissed you off and you're a sensei, I am sorry. If I've pissed you off and you're not a sensei, well, here's the thing. Everybody knows that what I'm saying is right. A lot of dojos don't fight for their belts. They break boards and they break bricks. And I'm not saying fight for your belt as if, you know, you're going to go in there and you're going to go Rambo on people. No. You're going to fight. You're not going to fight to hurt people, but you are going to fight. Because I need to make sure that what I'm teaching you is going to work. And I don't want you having to be the guy that went to a school that paid $400 and walk down the street and get your ass beat. It happens. It happens more than you think. Trust me. If I can beat black belts and I've never had a black belt, somebody missed a lesson somewhere, or a teacher neglected the fact to tell people that what works in the dojo doesn't work in the street. I'm going to teach you what works both. I'm James Williams Jr. Compound number 2. Be seeing you.